Hello cyclists, welcome today. A pretty cool, super smart, very compact foldable bike. It's the Max from Ahooga. I get more and more into foldable bikes because there are more and more interesting brands and models on the market, like this one, the Max from Ahooga. Ahooga is a Belgian company and they put 3 years of engineering and development into this beautiful bicycle. It's more an e-bike than actually a foldable bike, because when you're looking for a bike, for an e-bike that accompanies you through your day, so when you commute, but you don't have so much storage space, or you don't want to leave your bicycle outside and you want to take your bike on the train or on the bus, and the Ahooga MAX could be a really interesting choice for you. But you know, I always start with the question, what riding position do you like? So the Ahooga is quite flexible, as I prefer the upright sitting position because I want to know what is happening around me. Are there any fellow cyclists that want to drive past me because they are faster, or are there any cars coming? So I prefer sitting upright, but it's super easy because you can adjust the stem as well as, of course, the seat post, that you can adjust your seating position. So you can actually, if you put the stem a bit further down, it's more sportive. It does not feel like riding a foldable bike because the measurements, so the whole frame geometry is almost like a regular city bike, I would say. So you don't feel like cramped or that the frame geometry is super compact and it's too agile in the front. I felt very comfortable, like almost on riding my old-fashioned Oma or Opa feet, so a very classic Dutch bicycle. And Ahooga offers a lot of accessories. There's always the rear carrier attached that you can put on an extra bag, or you use the elastic straps, or you can also put a basket or a bag in the front. As I said, it is an e-bike and the motor is located in the front hub. And there are so many critics out there saying that the motor in the front hub is not the best choice. Well, VanMoof, for example, did choose the front motor, and there are so many other bike manufacturers that choose a front motor. And I was cycling this bicycle for a couple of weeks now, and I did not feel in danger at all, not even when it was raining. I mean, you have to get used to it because all the acceleration, all the power is in the front wheel. But because you're cycling and pushing the pedal in the middle and you're giving all your power in the rear hub, it feels very balanced. So I felt like super comfortable with the front hub. But of course, it's very individual. But from my point of view, in my opinion, also when I did a lot of research, front hubs, motors in the front hubs, absolutely okay. It's just a different feeling. But for me, as I just said, because there's motor power in the front hub, pedal power in the rear hub, it was really, really cool. Especially when I was cycling up hills. So I found a very steep hill in Hamburg, and even in like one of the lowest modes of pedal support, it was so easy to cycle up this hill. Belgian also offers an app, so you can have a very smart bike and you get all the information you need, like how fast you cycle, you have a navigation system, you've got all your cycling history, etc., etc. So I would recommend. I hardly ever use apps, to be honest, but if you're a techie, if you want all the information and data, due to the Belgian app, it's definitely possible. And every e-bike, of course, needs a little teeny tiny display and an on and off switch, and it's here located on the handlebars. And when you switch on the handlebars, you only have like 2 different things you see. The green bars are the battery, then you see how the battery is charged. And then you do have blue bars, then you see in what mode of pedal assist you're in. And there are 5 in total, and I only did cycle in level 1 and in level 2, even when I was cycling up the very steep hills, because it's so strong. I don't even know when and how you would use the mode 5. Then you're really like on a super rocket, so not just a rocket but a super rocket. And every e-bike, of course, needs a battery. As you can see, this is not the battery, this is the range extender. The battery, which is pretty cool, is inside the tube. and you can take it out. So you have all the flexibility you need. And this is actually one of the USPs of the Ahooga MAX. The battery is inside, because there are so many foldable bikes out there that do have the battery outside, external. And due to the fact that the battery is inside, as I just said, you can take it out to charge it, or you charge the battery directly in the bike. And the battery is not like the largest. The capacity is 248 watt hours. Everybody is talking about the range. I'm not sure why it is so important unless you do a lot of touring. Well, this gives you a range of up to 50 kilometers, but this is like when you really cycle in the eco mode, you don't have so much wind, not so many hills, and you're maybe not the heaviest person. I would say it's something between 35, 40, maybe 45, but as a matter of fact, I was cycling in eco mode or in the second level of pedal assistance most of the time. So the battery indeed is not the largest, but in my opinion it gives you a really beautiful design because it is integrated inside. And well, I would probably have to charge it every 2 days if I would commute with this bicycle. And if you want more, then you can get this beautiful range extender. It gives you an extra 180 watt hours. So in total, Ahooga says then you get 80 kilometers. I don't know, it really depends. It's very individual because, as I said, what mode of pedal assist you choose, how heavy you are, and how you cycle, of course. Hilly, flat, wind, no wind. So I know that one of their sales guys did a whole European tour visiting all bike shops in Europe with an Ahooga MAX, and he managed, he didn't get lost. The motor is from Belgian, so a quality component. And this one here in the front has 250 watt, allows you to ride the allowed 25 kilometers. It's really like a rocket. I really like it. Very cool, even especially when you cycle, more agile and more sportive. The Max is a foldable e-bike and it's super easy to fold. Well, actually there are different ways to fold it and to push it or pull it or to carry it around. And Ahooga has the swoosh. And after practicing it a couple of times, it was more or less cool for me, because once you know how to do it, and they're very fantastic videos online from Ahooga. You just practice it a couple of times and that's really like, they say 2 seconds, for me it was more like 10 seconds. But it's super easy. You adjust the pedal, you just open the frame here in the rear, then you open up the frame in the front and then whoosh, there's the swoosh. And it's so cool because you have the front wheel attached to the back, so it's very compact and very safe to carry it. And of course, you put in the saddle, which also keeps the rear part of the frame from opening when carrying it. And then of course you can adjust the handlebars. And it's not like the super easiest way to carry it. I mean, 19 kilograms are 19 kilograms, but I did manage. But if you have to, I don't know, climb up 5 or 6 flights of stairs, it's a really good workout. But the frame is made of aluminium, so it's very stiff. I did the cobblestone test and it was one of the worst cobblestone streets I could find in Hamburg. And there is like a sort of a suspension. It keeps all the vibration away. It's here in the rear. And also Ahooga did choose very bulky, very fat, big balloon tires from Schwalbe that are puncture proof. And very cool because it happened to me. You cannot get into the tracks of trains because I fell twice very badly, and this won't happen with this bicycle. And because due to the width, it is also a bit like a suspension in the front and in the back. And that's also a big difference to a lot of other foldable bikes because the tires, the wheels have 20 inches. So they're broader and therefore give you a more stable and more secure riding experience, especially when it's raining. And it's raining a lot in Hamburg. And I did test it also when it was very wet and dirty and slippery on the streets, and I always felt very safe and secure. And that was actually pretty surprising for me because I did test other bicycles, foldable bicycles with even smaller wheels. And this one so far is definitely my choice. also integrated in the tires. You can see the reflective stripes. That's very important, especially if you do live in the EU, especially in Germany, because the police officers are very keen and check that. Also very important is the lighting system, and I love the solution Ahooga offers. There's an integrated light in the front frame, and it is the branding of Ahooga. I also really like the branding of Ahooga. And also here in the rear, it's a very cool, very bright little light in the rear carrier. Definitely a good choice. But I have to say it, if you order your bicycle or if you buy a bicycle from Ahooga, you get an extra light, because this front light is unfortunately not sufficient for the German law. Also very important, because with an e-bike you easily reach the 25 kilometers with this one, because it has a 250 watt-hour motor. You need brakes, you need really good hydraulic disc brakes, and Ahooga, I mean, this is like for concerning every single part and accessory. It is a quality part, and Ahooga did choose 160 millimeters Shimano disc brakes, and I always felt really safe. I stopped immediately when I had to brake. Speaking about parts and accessories, and this is like one of the things I really appreciate and like, is that you don't have to think about too much what can break or what you have to service, because everything is integrated. The battery, of course, and of course the internal gearing system in the rear hub. And again, quality, it's a Shimano Nexus 7 gearing system. And of course my whole family did have to test ride this bicycle, and from my 12-year-old son up to my husband, everyone was happy and it felt really cool. So I'm a big fan of the Shimano parts and accessories, the gearing system, and this one inside. Have a look at other manufacturers of quality foldable bikes. You will hardly ever find an internal gearing system. Besides the sitting position, very important for me but very individual, is the saddle, of course. And this one looks very sportive and clean and chic and fits in this overall design. It was super comfortable. I know it's very individual, of course, but this choice was very comfortable. Speaking about the design, you see the frame has a very special design, because there are so many foldable bikes that just have one tube. And you see and hear a lot of quality issues that this one tube breaks, but not in this case. So you have this very special, beautiful design that gives you an extra portion of stability and security. The Ahooga MAX comes in different color options, so I would highly recommend check out the website. And I mean, this yellow here, it was an eye catcher. It was really nice to cycle around, and even my family did like it a lot. One point, very important, you can also fold the pedals, and the pedals do not offer this very satisfying, very cool feeling when you fold it. They are also super easy to unfold, and even when your shoes, whether it's leather soles or sneakers, are super slippery and wet, you got a really good grip with this pedals. Of course, as you can see, it is a chain. Like most of the foldable bikes, they do need this extra little parts so you can easily fold the bicycle. A chain, of course, needs more service than a carbon belt drive, but I don't know, maybe Ahooga has something in mind. I don't know, I'll let them know that I would prefer a belt drive. Design-wise, I really appreciate that everything is pitch black in combination with the frame color. So I love it. I mean, you see also all the different details concerning the branding. I really like the branding. It's a little figure, a cyclist, and also, of course, the Ahooga typo. And when you discover your bicycle, you find little brandings all over the bicycle, but very decent. And I really like that, to discover what is happening on this bicycle design-wise. Overall, I did really like this bicycle, and hello.
Subscribe. Thanks. You're doing great.
Thank you. So overall, this bicycle is a really cool companion if you live in the city, if you do not have so much storage at work or at home. And because this bicycle is like a high quality bicycle concerning all the parts, accessories, Ahooga to choose, and also the brand. I really like the brand. Look it up on the website, the whole history of the brand. I mean, this bicycle costs 3,500 euros, and of course if you want the range extender and more accessories, it is more expensive. So between 3,500 with accessories, also there's a bike stand if you want one, up to 4,000 euros. Then you don't want it maybe at night standing on the streets or in front of your apartment, house or your home. And I did really like the whole riding experience, very comfortable, you can adjust it, the whole frame geometry, it's offering a very agile riding experience. You can commute a bit more slow and comfortable like me, or you can be super sportive. The only down point for me is maybe still the weight, because it is quite heavy with 18, with a range extender maybe 19 kilograms. But besides that, for me, this was a really good solution for a compact bicycle that can carry enough if you maybe want to do some small groceries or want to go to work. So definitely a thumbs up, and yeah, subscribe to the channel.